All right, guys. So first of all, I'll start this off by letting you know I did add the ability to add a fire delay, and this is replicated. This fire delay is replicated. So I'll go ahead and show you what I'm doing. So if we're playing standalone, which means single player, it'll always execute this one, which means it'll skip the timer stuff right there, and instead it'll fire it right here, because you obviously can't pass this twice. If you just set it, then you can't pass it the second time. But if you're playing as the client on a multiplayer server, then you'll be a remote, which means that you'll fire this, and then the server itself will only execute this, and therefore the server will have its own version of the timer event. And there's nothing actually happening whenever this event gets called. It's just for the sake of having a timer, basically. So that is the best way, I think, because if I had added a delay, then it would actually wait until after the delay was over to actually allow you to fire. So anyway, with that said, you'll see, actually I'm on a dedicated server right now, so you'll see it actually is working. I'm actually spamming it right now, and you'll see it's only letting me fire every half a second. Yeah, so, and it should work just the same here. Like I said, that bug right there will be fixed. But yeah, same. Okay, anyway, so moving on. What we're going to actually do is create the fire and reload animation. So I'm thinking I'll just make this as one animation, and you can play them as two separate animations by, because they're going to be montages that are playing, and you can set the start and the end time of a montage. So technically speaking, you could cut it in half. So anyway, it'll be easier if I just play this as one thing here. So half a second at 30 frames per second, which is the max speed of an animation, would be 15 frames. So I have 15 frames to have them fire and reload, and that's what we'll do. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over to the UEFN, held objects, guns, bows, left hand. And I actually, it's going to happen from the aiming pose. So we're going to copy this aiming pose over into the actions folder. And we can just remove this curve because we're not going to need it. I'm going to go ahead and save this. I don't know why it's freezing up. Okay, it's done. Always unlink those just to be safe. There's a bunch of serialization bugs in Unreal Engine 5. Never had serialization bugs like this in Unreal Engine 4. There were some, but not like in Unreal Engine 5. Everything is having serialization problems in Unreal Engine 5, whereas in Unreal Engine 4, the only time I ever came across it was blueprint interface functions where you were passing references, passing by ref. That was the only time I seen that in Unreal Engine 4. But in Unreal Engine 5, it's like all over the place. Anyway, I'm going to bake this to the control rig. And we actually don't need to remove that last frame. I'm going to hold down Control and pull back on my mouse wheel until I get about 15 frames deep. And I'm just going to stretch that over there to the frame 15. And I'm going to remove this little red marker all the way to frame 15. That gives me 15 frames here. And then what I'll do is I will click this button here, which will allow me to select things in the viewport. And I'm going to duplicate this by holding down Alt and dragging on that gizmo after I've started moving it. Don't hold Alt and then click and drag, because it's not going to do nothing. You have to already be moving it before you can press Alt. So now we're going to add this to the track, convert it to spawnable. So when next time we pull it in here, we open this up, it'll be in here, and it won't be in the scene. It'll just be in the sequence. That also means we can open the sequence in other maps too. So without, the references being broken. We're going to do the same thing with this. We're going to add it here and make it spawnable. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this to the character, actually, because he needs to be holding this. And he actually needs to be in that pose, actually. I'm going to drag this beyond the 15th frame. We always want to do that so that it doesn't leave this pose on the last frame. That's the reason why I do that. Now I'm going to attach this to the character, to the weapon L. Oh, I didn't duplicate that. Oh well, fine. It's not going to kill anything, I guess. I need to go to anim details and zero this out. Oh, I don't know, I was going over to the other one. Yeah, so you see that right there. Okay, I don't know why. Okay, it was just acting buggy. When you move the marker, it should go into position. So now we need to attach this to the character's back, actually. Bow, shoulder, R. Same thing, zero that out. And now it should be right there where it's supposed to be. And we can make our animation from this. Oh, make sure you're on frame 0 when you're doing stuff like this. So I'm just going to drag this over to frame 0. And again, I'm going to extend this beyond frame 15 over here. You can go more than, a frame or whatever beyond if you want, just to be safe. But you only need to go one frame beyond the last frame. Yeah. So we can actually delete this stuff right here out of the scene now. And then I'm going to press this so that I can't select anything in the actual scene anymore. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bake this animation right here to the FK control rig. And that's fine. We'll animate this right here too. All right, so that's basically the setup there, and I'm going to take a short break, and I will be back to finish this. Make sure you Control-Shift-S to save very frequently, because things tend to break and crash